One.
Hey, welcome, guys. It's time for Bollox Talks and Tangents. It is Thursday at 6:34. Lenny over there is still writing like crazy. He has no idea where his microphone is. Luckily, he found his way into the studio.
It's right here.
Okay. All right. Well, just making sure, because you did a heavy lean forward away from the microphone. Sometimes you're afraid of the microphone. So as Lenny is dropping things over there, I'm picking on him. But welcome in, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a great show today. We're talking about service clubs and the good things they do, how they got started, famous members that are a part of service clubs. And I kind of got into this one because I was like, actually paying my dues to one of my service clubs.
Okay.
So you wondered why I did it so early. That's why I was writing a check. So
It's all good. They deserve recognition.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? We need to talk about some of the good stuff these amazing organizations do. And, we're not saying one's better than the other or, but all these clubs have done some amazing things for individuals, for groups around the world.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely incredible. But first thing we got to do is we got to think about our sponsors.
People that keep us in business.
They keep us going. And St. Augustine Distillery and City Gate Spirits, the best tasting tours in the entire country. Go check these guys out. City Gates is located right on Sponsor Row, right along Avenida Menendez, right there near the fort. Give them a try. They have some amazing moonshines, different spirits, different whiskeys, ridiculous flavors.
Yeah, good flavors.
They really do a nice job over there. And St. Augustine Distillery, they were ranked #1 tasting tour in the country.
And deservedly so.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous tour. If you haven't taken the tour, I really recommend it because they give you tastings.
Yeah. And you're going to this next place tonight.
I am. As a matter of fact, we put in a fix. So we got a seat at the bar waiting for us, I hope.
Okay. All right. You got somebody? You got somebody that might have it in?
I know the guy behind the bar.
You have a guy? Okay.
I know the guy behind the bar.
And that's the beauty of Meehan's Irish Pub. You know the guy. They have 3 bars in one right there on Sponsor Row again. They just do an amazing job. They have great food. I don't know how many Jameson bottles I've crushed in that place.
Woof.
I'm sure I've done some damage there over the years. But Reggie and his entire staff are just wonderful people. I'm glad I got to see him over the weekend. Somehow he snuck up into our cabana. I don't know how Reggie did it.
he's very shrewd that way.
Very stealth-like.
He really is.
Very stealth-like. But appreciate you guys staying with us, and they've been with us since the very beginning.
I will say that if you like Irish whiskey, a lot of places, and we'll talk about some of our other sponsors that have really fabulous wine lists. Every now and again, I come back to remind people that when you go to Meehan's, they have a whiskey list that is just phenomenal. And they've got some of the most difficult to find whiskeys in the country that you can get at Meehan's and no place else in America.
There, it would take you months to get through everything. Yeah. So really, it's amazing over there. All right, another place that's amazing, and they just have incredible artifacts. They have over 800 artifacts. Also been with us since the very beginning. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. You went there. You enjoyed it. You took family.
Very much. We'll go back. Definitely go back.
It's one of those things where you kind of look at it and go, it's kind of small from the outside. But you get inside, and it's like, wow.
A lot of rooms.
I see how they did it.
Yeah.
And they really make you flow through there very nicely.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like, it makes you feel like you're under the deck of a boat, which is what they were going for. And
if you have little kids, they keep them engaged in what's going on because they have scavenger hunts for small children that are really well put together. So the kids are thrilled by doing that stuff.
Yep. And our rum today is called Pirate.
Oh, okay.
So and it came to us from the Pirate Museum and Captain Meehan when he was a guest. This is the gift he brought.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah, I'm not sure where your timbers are, but I hope.
Well, it's getting chilly out. The weather is changing.
It's feels so pumpkiny. All right, River and Fort. Blake, you know where this is located at?
Dang it! Need to make sure my mic's on.
Yeah, turn that mic on.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's located next to the river and the fort.
You are correct.
Wow, that kid is
You know,
good.
I
I'm
mean,
telling you, he's
you
a
know,
smart man. I really do admire
4
him.
years
He's
at
a smart man.
Flagler, and that's what I got right
Exactly
there.
right.
Man, okay, and he wears that hat.
He's a Panther today.
But River and Fort, they have amazing whiskey selections, great wine selections, great food, the best view really
Yeah.
in town. If you want to have a cocktail, go to the rooftop. You can have a cocktail right there.
It's spectacular up there. 360 degrees, 360 degree view all across the city.
Yep. All right, you guys tried this place out, the Roosevelt Room.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
such a great menu.
Good breakfast. Great potatoes.
Good.
I hate to throw in the
They have
potatoes.
a good breakfast menu, a good lunch menu.
Right.
The thing people don't know about is how wonderful their event space is.
It's a beautiful little space.
It has a nice loft. You can kind of separate. 75 people can fit in there. So you have a business outing or you have a small wedding. That'd be a pretty big wedding for me.
Okay.
I'd panic. So it's a great place to have an event.
Yeah.
The chef is phenomenal. He'll work with you on the catering
On
of
your
your
menu,
event. Just go check them out. In case you don't know what the Roosevelt Room is, it's right next to Prohibition Kitchen. They're all part of the same family. And the Sheltras, congratulations to them. They were a part of trying to get rid of the nightlife ordinance that
Which
did not
pass.
It did not pass, and I appreciate Reggie, the guys from River and Fort, Jeff, and the Shelters, and all of them kind of came together as one company and unified and said, this is not good for business.
Correct.
Great job, guys, for standing up for yourself. Appreciate you guys being here in St. Augustine. Another group I appreciate being here is Abare, Kresge and Associates.
I'm sure you do.
These guys keep me out of so much trouble. I'm looking to do another business. Blake, I haven't told you it yet.
Run away, Blake. Run away.
That means you're going to have more work to do. But Abare, Kresge and Associates, these guys, they handle all my taxes. They're the best CPAs in town. They can help you find money where you didn't think there was money. They can help you hold on to your money. And if you're starting a new business, if you're wanting to go through a business plan, they can help you through all these things. Abare, Kresge and Associates. All right. This next company, I don't even know how they made a list.
Yeah,
a
well,
little questionable.
little
questionable. I mean,
they're okay.
Has a lot to do with their owner. Coquina Coast Realty, and that's my real estate company. We've been around about we're coming up on close to 10 years.
Wow, very nice.
But commercial, residential, anything you want to do in real estate, I can help you get through some of the development processes. Government, starting new businesses is a challenge.
A facilitator very much helps.
Yes, and I can help you get through that, and that one usually goes through Walking Man Consulting, which will be next month's sponsor.
Okay. Gonna throw another one in here though. I'm gonna do a little shameless plug for
you got your guy.
Kaiser's Deli and Market, man.
Oh, so good.
You want a good sandwich, for White Street. It's basically on Anastasia Boulevard across from the Ash's gas station, across from where they're building that new. I'm going to go hide out in a Storm liquor store that they're building there, the P&J liquor, I think it is. Mm-hmm. What a build out that is. These people built this way above flood lines. So I just keep looking at it and going, I would lock myself in there in a storm and have something to drink.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a sandwich on your way to the beach, from the beach, on the way to a concert, because it's the closest place to get a meal next to the amphitheater, Kaiser's Deli and Market, French dip.
Pastrami.
The daddle Reuben.
Yeah.
Because some talented chef created a daddle Thousand Island dressing to just spice up that Reuben a little bit, and it's wonderful. Wow. No. Plus, he's also got a cooler now that's got grab and go products.
Okay.
There's a beautiful lasagna in there. Each piece of lasagna weighs more than a pound.
Wow.
More than a pound.
Wow.
Yeah, I personally know the man who made it, and it's pretty tasty.
That's a lot. That would make Garfield so happy.
Yes, it would. So, you can do that. Leave it in your freezer at home, leave it out, thaw it in your refrigerator.
Yeah, go see Kaiser's. If you've not been there, make sure you stop in there and tell him we sent you.
Absolutely. Mention us.
And I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed. It won't be the last time you go there.
No.
So
the sandwiches are great. It's all Boar's Head products. Mm-hmm. And it's just a nice place. Plus, he's got beer and wine for off-premise or on-premise consumption.
Okay.
And that really is nice too. You want to finish your afternoon with a sandwich and a beer? Not a bad idea. Take a bottle of wine home. He's got a really nice, it's a small wine selection, but it's a very, very well curated wine selection.
Excellent. So welcome to the sponsor
Yes, exactly.
crew, guys. All right. This is where we do word origins. I don't even know which ones you have. I think you told me a brief about which ones you have.
Well, I stole one from you from trivia last night.
Oh, okay.
You brought it up in trivia, and I said, I'm going to run with this one.
Okay.
So it's mind your P's and Q's.
Mind your P's and Q's.
And you brought up the fact that it was pints and quarts.
Yeah.
So, if you were minding your P's and Q's, this came from England in the 17th century. If you were getting a little too rowdy, the innkeeper would tell you to, hey, mind your P's and Q's, your pints and quarts, and stop being, an obnoxious drunk. Mm-hmm. But there's a second definition for where this came from as well. And mind your P's and Q's, it was a naval definition.
Okay.
So, if the sailors were going out on liberty and they wanted to look their smartest, they had to mind their P's and Q's, meaning that their pea coats and their Q's, which was actually their braided ponytail. So other sailors would help them dust off their pea coat and straighten out their ponytails before they left the ship for liberty. So they were minding their P's and Q's. So I thought that was kind of very interesting.
In the Navy.
There you go.
Just saying.
Right.
Village people got it right.
It's a lot of time on a ship without women. It's all,
Is my ponytail straight?
Might have been the only thing on the ship.
Have you ever had to say that? Is my ponytail straight?
Absolutely, I used to. As a matter of fact, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for years I had a ponytail.
Would you ask if it matches your gig line?
No, that I didn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Just when it started getting gray, it got weird.
I thought gig line was a pretty standard statement. But a lot of people don't know what a gig line is. Do you know what a gig line is?
I'm thinking it has something to do with fishing, but I'm not sure of that.
Like, do you know what a gig line is?
I do not know.
Okay, so your gig line is like how everything lines up. So, like, if your belt's a little sideways or like your buttons are twisted or something like that, that's like your gig line.
Gotcha.
So, I think it's military. We're going to have to look it up.
It would make sense because, for those of us who are slightly OCD, you don't need your belt buckle to be askew from your placket of buttons.
No, and that's what I'm doing. I try and check my gig line and before I go out. Because if you're a little twisted, people notice.
It's true.
Yeah, people got onto me because I wore a shirt Friday and then I wore it again yesterday. I mean, did you watch the show?
I did. You got savaged for that, my friend.
Rebecca, and here's the thing, and I'm not blaming Rebecca for this at all. I rotate my laundry so that doesn't happen. So I don't usually have clothes that close to the same day.
Right.
So what's at the bottom of the pile, I usually do that laundry first, and then that keeps my rotation proper. Well, wonderful, she did laundry and stuff like that, but she didn't do my typical OCD rotation. Right. So I was like, oh, okay, this is here. I'm good to go. Yeah. There was only 5 days between. That shirt's retired for at least 2-3 weeks. Well,
it was a nice light blue shirt, and it was a standout shirt. But you got no quarter from Pete, Davey, and Clay yesterday. They were taking no prisoners with you on that one.
Or in the comments. My own girl was ratting me out in the comments.
Rebecca, come on, stand by your man.
Yeah. So, all right. My first one, Cool Beans. All right, you know where it comes from? Don't look. Did you look?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I look forward to these.
All right, so Cool Beans, DJ Tanner from Full House. Okay. She used it all the time. Oh, Cool Beans. And if you Google Cool Beans, you're going to get a lot of Full House, DJ Tanner. It's like, how rude. Same thing. All right. But it actually came from an early Cheech and Chong movie. Cool Beans, man.
Oh.
It came from Cheech and Chong, and it went to Full House.
Dave's not here.
Oh, yeah, Dave's not
here.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave's
not here.
No. You're Dave.
Can I look? Can I see your license? Isn't it on the back of the car, man?
That should be a topic for one of these weeks. Just Cheech and Chong.
Oh, Cheech and Chong.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Cheech and Chong. Yeah, I'll bring in product. We're allowed to do that. But
I got a card.
It actually came from Cheech and Chong. And
really?
I was blown away with it. And a lot of people, I don't know if people still use Cool Beans today. So I still use it. I use it a lot. But
So how did it evolve?
it came out of the film. It was just Chong actually said "cool beans" is one of those lines that was kind of an ad lib line, and then it kind of took off, and then it kind of died out until Full House, until little DJ Tanner brought it back.
From Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it went full circle from stoner movie to family TV
Wholesome
show,
TV.
and it became part of everyday talk.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's pretty cool beans.
I do. Absolutely.
All right, what you got?
I got another one. You know, we're minding our P's and Q's. Now you got to mind your beeswax.
Oh, your beeswax.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this came out of the 17th century as well, the 18th century. If you survived smallpox, the likelihood is you would have a lot of pock marks and scars on your face, and people would then fill them in with beeswax to sort of smooth out their complexion and to make a better complexion. So, you know, if you're sitting there talking to somebody and you're going, you know, somebody's like, you know, it's mind your beeswax. If you're staring down somebody to see all the pockmarks on their face, they were told to mind their own beeswax and leave my beeswax out of it.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from, that you would use the
I
beeswax.
thought it was like it would start sweating or something.
Would it just drip down?
Like you got like a little bit of beeswax.
it was just you got to mind your own beeswax and, you know, stop looking at me.
Old poo.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah, right, exactly.
All right. This one, you know, I kind of went with 90s slang. I was trying to be more hip. So I went with 90s. I went with 90s slangs. Bogus, man.
Yeah.
Bogus.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what bogus is, right?
I do.
Yeah.
It's like Fugazi.
Yeah, the Fugazi. Yeah, it's not real.
Yep.
It's not happening.
Yep.
It's just wrong.
Yep.
All right. You know where it originated?
Probably Cheech and Chong.
Wasn't Cheech and Chong, but
Damn it, I was so close.
it would have been amazing if I had two coming out of Cheech and Chong at the same time, origins. It goes back to the early 1800s.
Wow, okay.
And it was, do you know where the Secret Service originated, what they originally were doing?
Yeah, counterfeit currency after the Civil War, from all the Confederate bills and all the counterfeiting of the federal dollars. And U.S. Grant started the Secret Service to be against counterfeiting.
All right, and you know what they called the fake money?
Bogus.
Bogus.
Okay. Because if you were Italian and from New York or Jersey, you just call it a fugazi, but that would actually be a watch or a diamond that was, a knockoff.
A fake,
right?
It's a fake. It's a knockoff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, it was fake money.
Bogus bills. Gotcha.
Fake money was bogus bills.
I like that.
Bogus dollars.
Okay.
And it didn't really. It kind of died off for a little bit. Had a little bit of a resurgence during the 30s, the gangster times.
Okay.
And it didn't come back until Ted and Bill.
I was going to say more stoners could get involved in it being bogus.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bogus, man.
Yeah.
That's bogus.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You're done with your.
I did
your
mine too.
origins?
I did. I minded my P's and Q's and my beeswax.
You minded your P's and Q's and beeswax. Where do you want to start with your? Because you got more notes than I do, which is not unusual.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like breaking into a Tom Jones song, but we'll leave that alone for the time being, because it's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Oh. It's not unusual.
Thank you very much.
Well,
I
know
keep saying,
I know that song from, Fresh Prince.
Yeah, but
That was
why, Delilah?
why Delilah?
Sorry, I'm on a Tom Jones tangent.
You're staying with Delilah. Oh, you're staying with Tom.
Why, Delilah?
Okay, we've used up our Tom Jones.
Yeah,
time.
people are turning off the show right now or lowering the volume. I'm sorry, boys and girls at home.
That's and we just got hit on Facebook because we're not allowed. We're not copyright.
Well, I don't know
Actually,
if I did.
no one confused you with Tom Jones on that, so we're completely
No,
safe.
he's dramatically older and still much better looking.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him, though, man. He is a force of nature.
Alive?
Yes, he is.
I thought
he's still performing. He was at the Florida Theater not long ago. I mean, I want to say
his
within
pants
the
are
last
so
year.
tight. That's why his skin's so tight.
Yeah,
He's 83.
He's 83.
yeah, and he is still performing as of last year. He was at the Florida Theater last year.
I feel like he's older than that.
He doesn't look it, man. I'll tell you that.
My dad's 80.
You know?
So I just feel like he's older than that.
Yeah. So he was 25 when It's Not Unusual came out in 1965. He was 25.
Wow.
I've never.
1965. I was -2.
I am personally related to the niece of the woman who is the president of the Tom Jones fan club.
Once removed. Oh.
Suzanne.
related.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Aunt Doris, president of the Tom Jones
Doris.
fan club.
What aunt has the worst name of all your aunts? Because
Oh.
you're probably from a big family, so you're not
My family is like me, short and small.
okay.
I had
no, I mean a lot of people, not
Yeah,
in
no,
stature.
and not.
Oh,
I
just
mean,
like you,
I had an Aunt Shirley, an Aunt B, and that was it on my aunts.
Aunt B.
Aunt Beatrice, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
She was an interesting woman, I'll tell you that. But
she
that's
went
a story
from
for another
North
day.
Carolina, though.
No, she was not from North Carolina. No, Hoboken and Hewlett. Yeah.
All right, my grandmother, three sisters and herself, so four girls, and she had 4 girls herself.
Okay.
All right. So I had an Aunt Cleta.
Okay.
I had an Aunt Wheezy,
Louise.
Eloise,
Okay.
but it was Wheezy.
Okay.
An Aunt Wheezy. I had an Aunt Iona.
She's got to
And-
college.
Yes, and my grandmother's name, Delilah.
Oh, there you go.
Guess what my grandfather's name was?
Samson?
Sam.
Oh, we know that. Absolutely.
Sam.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And he was bald.
Well,
So it's Delilah and Sam, and he was bald. So
Yeah, but
and
he
on my
still had his
dad's
strength.
And my dad's side, my dad's number 10 of 11.
wow.
So I'm not going to go through all those, but their names weren't as horrible as my grandmother's names. And my
Yeah, but-
mom's sisters' names are all very common, like Mary. Well, they went by 2 names because it was in the South, like Mary Jo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, my mom's Dolores,
Okay.
but I call her Thelma. So, so it's just, I mean,
Well, if you put Thelma together with Eloise, we could make a movie.
oh yeah. Thelma and Wheezy.
Why? I'm back.
All right, ants with terrible names. I want to see some in the comments. All right, I'm going to get us started. I think.
Go ahead,
I'm
pick
gonna
a service
start-
organization.
I'm going to start with. I'm in 2 service organizations, and I'm proud of being a member of both. And both of them have done amazing things in the United States and abroad. So I'm going to start with the Elks Club.
Okay.
All right. So the Elks Club was actually started by an actor named Charles Vivian. All right, in 1868. He left the Fraternal Order of Buffaloes
Okay.
and created the Elks. All right. Now, many of you guys here in St. Augustine think of the Elks Lodge. You see the big elk in
Yeah.
the middle of the thing,
Middle of the pond.
and that's where you park for.
The amphitheater, or the right.
I joined the Elks because I really needed parking for the amphitheater when I first started the amphitheater, because we had no parking. We had 300 parking places for 4,000 people. Math doesn't add up there. So I got the Elks. I had them actually help them get through some things with their campsites, because they were told they weren't allowed to have campsites, and the code came into place after they had already had campsites. And I found
Grandfathered.
in the history that their campsites predated the thing. They got campsites. They couldn't get more, but they were able to have the 10
It's okay.
that were there.
And they get good use out of them.
And our Elks Lodge is one of the wealthiest Elks Lodges around
Really.
because of the parking.
$20 a car.
Yeah, it does
They're
very
packing them
well.
in tonight.
And they do an amazing job. They work with Toys for Tots. They do a shootout. They help out. They have a state camp. But one of the more interesting things is, of all the clubs that I went through, people that are famous members, and this is why you want to be a part of a club, is like where the cool kids are.
Right.
All right. These are cooler kids than me. And that's who you
I don't
always-
know about that.
You always want to hang out with cooler kids than
Right.
you. So, and I think I'm pretty freaking cool.
I will agree with that.
I think I'm, I'm pretty cool. All right. Blake,
Sure
am I
about
cool?
that?
Yeah. I knew Blake was going to pop in. He happened to wake up right.
I was going to say, all of a sudden he's
He
back.
was nodding off. He's like, Dad's bragging about himself.
He's back.
But here are the presidents.
Okay.
Some kind of cool, some not so cool. Our worst president, Harding,
Warren G.
Warren G. And he actually treated the White House like he was at the Elks Club, because his cabinet was all friends and members of his that hung out with him. So I'm sure
Yeah. Well, that was
there was
right.
other
Yeah.
elk members in his what was it, the Teapot Dome
Teapot Dome scandal. Yeah.
scandal,
Yeah.
where he had all his friends and stuff in the cabinet and everybody. And for people that say, "Oh, our president's so horrible," talking about could go last president or 3 presidents back, everybody always makes this statement, "Oh, he's not my president." No, dude, these guys ain't got nothing on Warren G.
But you know what? When he was in office, he was exceedingly, exceedingly popular. He was very popular. And it didn't come out until after he left office and died that all these scandals came out. And then his reputation got sullied. We were talking earlier about Jimmy Carter, who was I won't say an unsuccessful president, but he was a one-term, and people didn't think much of his presidency, but his life after office, the man is just, he's a saint.
That's
That's
what I was going to say. If the U.S. had saint status, he
Absolutely.
would probably be in there.
Whereas Harding went in the complete opposite direction.
Well, they found out all the stuff that Harding was actually doing.
Yeah.
It's probably good he passed when he did.
Yeah.
He might have been the first impeached president.
Yeah, and I think
actually really impeached, not just going through it like we do every other president now.
right. Yeah, right. It's just
Remember when you learned in history? Oh, there's only been one impeached president. Right. It was Johnson.
And he barely made it out, but he did by that one vote.
One vote.
Right.
But Harding probably,
Yeah.
if he does, I think a heart attack got him or something.
It was he died in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He was on a tour. He was in San Francisco. He got taken ill, and they put him into bed rest, and he convulsed and died with his wife Florence at his bedside.
Yeah. So the White House was basically an Elks Lodge. Did they have like pull tabs and
They're probably they had some serious gambling going on there. He was a heavy gambler, but he was not the only president that was an elk. Eisenhower, FDR, JFK, Truman, Gerald Ford, all of them were elk members. But I was talking about the cool kids, right? Here's my cool kid list, and I think this would be an amazing golf foursome to play in. Probably of all the ones on the list, out of the elk members, I would have had Eisenhower on my golf team.
He's a good golfer.
Babe Ruth was an elk. Super cool.
Hell yeah.
All right?
Not as good a golfer, but
I can tell you, this guy on my team, no matter what I'm doing, Harry Houdini. There's no way you could lose. The ball disappears. I don't know what happened.
big Houdini fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Gene Autry and Newt Rockney.
Singing Cowboy and the Gipper.
Yeah.
Right. The original Gipper.
All
right.
over Elks.
Right.
Oliver Elks. That's a cool kid club.
That really is.
So I didn't know that when I joined. I just wanted parking for the amphitheater.
See how you got out of that?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And are you still an active member?
I am. I'm an active member. I renew my card, and we go over there, and I hang out there more with concerts.
Right. Bar open to the public.
But it's usually, it's a beautiful space. They take great care of it. I'm proud of what they do with the money.
Right. That's the key.
And that's one of the things when you join these clubs, you want to make sure they're people of like minds. And my Rotary Club and my Elks Club both fulfill and check those boxes. So, all right, what club do you have?
Well, I'm going to start with the Shriners because I'm going to bring it back to the fact that in the Shriners, which was a very bizarre club, Florence Harding was one of the women's auxiliary of the Shriners.
Okay.
So that's there. The Shriners, it's interesting because the Shriners started as the ancient Arabic order of nobles of the Mystic Shrine.
Okay.
Which is if you think of Shriners and you think of the Shriners Day Parade, which is always in Philadelphia.
I always wonder where the Fez
came from.
I
Exactly.
wonder where the Fez came from.
Yeah, well, that was it. And most of their temples, their shrine temples, were built in Arabic styles.
Yeah.
They called some of them mosques. The Shrine Auditorium, which is still in L.A., is a theater. A lot of them they got built as theaters. The one that they built in Pittsburgh became one of the first TV studios, and that's where broadcast TV actually started. It's interesting. And there's an interesting thing.
What year did the Shriners start?
The Shriners started in 1870.
Okay.
As an offshoot of the Masons. It was a Masonic society. Now, all Shriners are Masons. All Masons are not Shriners.
Okay.
I feel like I'm taking an IQ test here.
All Shriners are Masons. See, I thought
you have to be a Mason to be a Shriner.
I thought that would be the other way around, and I don't know why.
No, you don't need to be. You must be a Mason to become a Shriner, but you don't need to be a Shriner to become a Mason.
Okay.
Or you can be a Mason without becoming a Shriner.
Yeah.
And it started in 1870 in and around New York. There were thousands and thousands of Masonic members in New York, primarily in Manhattan, because, when you talk about New York in the 1870s, we weren't talking the outer boroughs. And a couple of these guys got together, and they decided that they were going to get an organization that was going to be a little bit more fun. And it evolved into philanthropy. But they were fabulous in the fact that the 1870, the Masonic Society started, and 1893, there was an offshoot of Black Shriners, which the white Shriners weren't too happy with, unfortunately, and sued them to prevent them from being there. And that suit got overturned, and they were allowed to continue. 1829, they got a positive judicial decision that allowed them to continue to be able to do their fundraising and things, and they would give their money to the United Negro College Fund, the NAACP, the Urban League, things of that nature. But the Shriners at large were huge into child health care. And it started out in 1920. The Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children was the first one they had, and in 1922 they opened their first hospital in Shreveport, Louisiana. Today, there are 22 hospitals, Shriners Children's Hospitals, which for the longest time took no money from anybody. Now they will, go to your insurance company, and then whatever else overage from the insurance company, they will cover the difference. So you don't have to pay anything if your child has the need to go to one of these hospitals, which is really wonderful. But it's kind of funny because the Shriners do the East-West Shrine game, which is the college all-star game. And they did a golf tournament for quite some time with Justin Timberlake, who happens to be a very good golfer, and they do it in Las Vegas, where the kid plays golf all the time.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was a Memphis guy.
He spends a lot of time on the golf courses in Las Vegas.
Like, doesn't he own, part of the Memphis basketball team?
He may.
Timberlake?
Yeah. Google that, would you?
I'll check.
But the Shriners disassociated themselves from him and the golf tournament. The golf tournament's still a PGA tournament in Las Vegas.
Why do they disassociate themselves?
Because they decided that all he wanted to do was be in front of the cameras and did nothing else for them. And that
makes them more money.
They're doing fine, it seems. The tournament still exists.
Yeah. Timberlake's still a minority owner of the Grizzlies.
Okay. But the Shriners were, they took offense to the fact that he was just playing for the cameras.
I'm a big JT fan.
Hey, look, I'm with you. I think the kid is very, very
Shriners
talented.
Just got on my list.
Bummer, cross them off.
Yeah.
Done with the Shriners.
I love those guys.
But I will tell you, there was some
they got really funky hats.
The fezzes, I'm telling you, and little tricycles.
All right, so that 70s club or that
The 70s show? Yeah.
All right, Fez. Fez. All
Wilmer
right.
Valderrama.
Yeah. So you know what Fez actually stands for?
For him in the show?
Yeah.
No.
No? Foreign exchange student. They couldn't say his name, so they started calling him Fez. It's with an S. Foreign exchange student. So that's how Fez came to be on the 70s show.
Too funny. And if you look at a repeat of that now, and you look at Wilmer Valderrama on NCIS,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, this man has grown up well.
He's still doing okay.
Yeah.
Except for
he was he was so young.
Except for Hyde, who's in jail.
Right. Yeah. Well, for a long time.
Yeah. He ain't getting out.
And his wife, Bijou, filed for divorce 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So except for him, the rest of them did okay.
Yeah.
So,
a couple of them got married finally again. Yeah. Right. But
Fez.
But he was so young on that.
That might have to be a trivia question.
Okay, I'm liking that one.
Yeah.
Write that down, dear.
Yeah.
He was so young on that show, and you look at him where he's come now to be an NCIS agent, and he's a great character too.
Yeah.
Because they
two of them are married.
Yeah.
Ashton and Mila.
Yep. But I do have a list of Shriners to match your list of cool people.
Okay, cool club.
Again, 2 presidents, Gerald Ford and Harry S. Truman. who apparently were in many service organizations because they're also Lions as well.
Those guys got around.
I'm telling you. Mel Blanc. So
Ford's a Rotarian also.
Yeah, I think, I wonder if it's like an honorary degree.
Yeah.
That, hi, want to be a joint? Yeah, we'll pay your dues for you. Just, can we use your name?
Yeah.
John Wayne was a Shriner.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine seeing him in one of those little fez hats on the tricycle?
He wouldn't have been mad about JT.
No.
He would have been like, let's get it together, partner.
Yeah.
Don't get all jelly.
McHale, Ernest Borgnine.
Okay.
Roy Rogers. I see your Gene Autry and I raise you Roy Rogers.
Still solid.
Okay. Earl Warren, Supreme Court Justice, Governor of California.
Will Rogers.
Will Rogers, yeah,
was a Rotarian.
Yeah,
Okay.
Will Rogers, and I, again, I don't know why people get in airplanes because the number of people who have died in airplane crashes. Because Will Rogers died in a plane crash.
Yeah, and one of the biggest airports in the U.S. is named Will Rogers Airport.
Yeah.
I think that's a little ironic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Douglas,
He would see the humor in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and he was a cowboy. He was from Oklahoma, I want to say.
Well, he was a roping vaudeville stand-up philosopher.
And
I think is what history of the world would call it.
And you think of him,
stand-up philosopher.
I go back and he died in the 30s. Mm-hmm. It was really kind of interesting. And Douglas MacArthur, who shall return. Mm. So, and he did. Eventually.
Yeah. He got fired. He got fired in the process.
That was a long wait, man. I'll tell you that, though. Yeah. So those are the Shriners. They still do the hospitals, which is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And the Shriner Circus. So it's an interesting organization. And it was an offshoot of the Masons because these guys wanted to have a little bit more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
They wanted to be a little more, and then they kicked out JT.
Right. I don't know if he was a Shriner. They just used his name on the golf tournament, and then they just said, "Get out from in front of the camera."
Sad. I'm still sad about the Shriners.
Well, I know. I can understand that.
Emotionally distraught.
I understand.
All right, we got to talk about our amazing sponsors. First off, we got Coquina Coast Realty. If you have anything residential, if you're looking for, I have a couple of open places. I have a 1-bedroom. I have a 2-bedroom. If you're looking for places, give me a call. You can message me on Facebook. You're on Facebook if you're watching this right now. Hit that share button and also message me at the same time. Abare, Kresge & Associates, the best CPAs in town. That's all you got to know. Give them a call, and they can help you out, save some money. Everybody likes to save money.
Absolutely.
A good vacation.
Yeah.
If you save money, you can go on a good vacation.
That's right.
All right. The Roosevelt Room and event space. Amazing breakfast, amazing lunch, beautiful room, great staff. Give them a chance if you're downtown at all. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, it won't be the last time you're there.
Enjoyed it very much. Looking forward to going back.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. River and Fort, Jeff and Bob, they have a new big project that's happening. They're going to open an Italian restaurant between the Hilton and Harry's restaurant there. I saw some digging of footers.
Oh, good.
So they got that permit.
Good.
They're ready to go. But River and Fort, the best place to have a drink on the rooftop and take a look at the river and the fort. All right. St. Augustine Pirate Museum, Cindy, the entire staff over there.
Thank you, Captain Mayhem.
They also thank you, Captain Mayhem, for the amazing, really good rum.
It's nice. It really is.
It's really good rum. They're hosting singer-songwriters at the Oak.
Right.
It's going to be all over town. If you haven't downloaded the Singer-Songwriters app, please do that. It has an amazing schedule. They'll talk you through exactly different artists you want to see. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy. Davis, the local David Luce, is back in town.
Okay.
He's been in Nashville. Hadn't been able to see him in about a year and a half. So I'm excited to hear him this weekend. Singer-songwriters, you'll see a lot of it at the Colonial Oak. And that is also run by the same group that does St. Augustine Pirate Museum. Mm-hmm. All right. Meehan's Irish Pub, I think they have some music this weekend also.
Yeah.
We have a great music
Outside,
weekend in St. Augustine. If you have a chance to get downtown, you can wander around. If you have that app downloaded, you can bounce from location to location and just enjoy some really talented people. Some of these guys are going to be very, very famous in like 2 or 3 years, and you're going to be like, I missed them.
Yep.
This is your time. You get to see and sit right next to them.
Yeah, this is the end of the Sing Out Loud Festival, which has been a huge success this season.
Yeah, and it's going to get bigger next year. I can tell you. Gabe and I had a debrief
right
on Tuesday. where we sat down and had a good conversation about the weekend, what we can do, and some of the things. And he's such a talented young man. He works so hard, and he started immediately on next year's 2 days after it was over.
It's like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
So,
And I was just so impressed at the build out that they did on Francis Field. I thought that build out was phenomenal.
It was so quality. I can tell you, very fortunate. The company that I work with, we sponsored and was one of the major sponsors. So we got the fortunate benefit of sitting in the cabanas.
The front row one.
I can tell you right now, I'm so spoiled. We can't sit anyplace else.
Right.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Great job, Carl, Gabe, your entire staff knocked it out of the park. Congratulations. All right, St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. We are normally drinking that, but we went with the Pirate Rum tonight.
And it's very nice.
Last week we tried out some moonshine.
Yep.
I think you were gone, and you had moonshine.
The week before we did the cola
before.
moonshine, yeah.
Next week we're going with the creamsicle moonshine. We're heading back to the moonshine world.
Okay.
All right, so we're heading back into the moonshine world. Citygate Spirits, new flavors.
Also, a great tour at City Gates.
Yeah. Julie, you're allowed to cough. It's okay. You won't show up on the... Julie's over there. She's sitting in the parlor trying to behave, and she's holding everything in. You're allowed... On our show, we're not that
Drink your
formal.
rum. It'll be good for you.
All right. But those are amazing sponsors. If you would, tell them thank you. Go to their Facebook page and say thank you for sponsoring Bollox. Really appreciate these guys. They keep us on the air, and it lets us do all this fun stuff, and we get out good information.
That's exactly right. And go into Kaiser's, get a sandwich, and tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kaiser, yeah. Dude, tell you that pastrami.
Well, that's
Let's
fabulous.
say El Tiant.
The El Tiante. Yeah, Louis Tiant, man.
Yeah.
I met the man. First of all, he's just adorable now, but what a pitcher he was. Man,
He was
man.
great.
Oh,
He was
phenomenal.
Great. When we were in Fenway, and Blake and Aiden got to meet him for the first time, and just such a humble guy.
He's a very nice man.
And he bought us lunch.
Very nice man.
Blake did.
Yeah, it was definitely good lunch.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's just, to meet a player of that stature is just wonderful because, he was pitching when I was a kid. And, you knew his career.
Yeah.
And he was a fierce competitor.
oh, just
Fierce
incredible.
competitor.
I mean,
Yeah.
in 1968, if it's not for Denny McClain's ridiculous season,
He won
of
30 games?
He won 30 games.
Yeah.
But I think Tiant won like 26.
Yeah.
So, Blake, look that up if you don't mind. It was 60. He was with Cleveland before he got to the Red Sox.
Before he
Most
went to the
people
Red
know
Sox,
him
yeah.
from the Red Sox.
Right.
Because of the World Series and his big leg kick and his unusual and just such a great character.
Yeah.
And, but he treated us so kindly.
He won 21 games.
He won 21 games. What was his ERA?
It was a 1.6, which actually led the league.
I knew it was something crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I knew it was something nuts. 1.6.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many complete games? This is something
There you go, right. Doesn't
it's
exist
not
anymore.
going to happen.
Nope. Doesn't exist anymore.
Complete games. Where's 19 complete games?
19.
9 of them shutouts.
19
shut-
complete games out of 21 victories.
Yep.
Yeah. And nine.
That's fierce.
9 shutouts.
That's just fierce.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. No, I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right. Hall of Fame clubs. To me, this one is a club I'm probably most proud of being a part of, and that's Rotary. I've been a Rotarian over 20 years. I'm a 4-time Paul Harris Fellow. And what that is Paul Harris is the person who started the Rotary.
Okay.
And once you give a certain amount of time, effort, and stuff like that, they have a criteria that you meet. And if you get Paul Harris status, that means you've given to your community. And now I'm because I'm a little longer in the tooth, my time adds up. Now I'm at the point where I can donate my Paul Harris to other people I feel have given to the community. So my last Paul Harris, just 2 weeks ago, I gave it to the person that I felt deserved it more than anyone else, and that's Ellen Walden from Home Again. So
Oh,
you
right.
guys
We met her-
at
we met her
the
last- a
murder
couple weeks
mystery.
ago, yeah.
And
Yeah.
but she's just so giving. She retired from the county. She doesn't have to work, but she feels the work she's doing is so
Well, that's
good.
important work. That
And
really
it's-
is,
I
and it's
mean,
necessary.
And without her, home again isn't where it is today.
Right.
So, such a, like my other Paul Harris fellows have nothing. The one that Ellen has in her hands that's the purpose of having service clubs and people understanding. As a Rotarian, their motto as we leave every meeting is service above self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we talked about Helen Keller, and we're gonna
Right, I'm gonna bring her up in a minute.
Bring her up
Yeah.
in a little bit when you talk about the Lions Club. But Helen Keller's the quote I like to use from Helen Keller more than anything else is I am only one, but I am one. And what she's saying by that is she continues to say, I can't do everything, but what I can do, I will do or shall do. So everybody has and can change the world.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a blind and deaf woman we're still talking about today.
Oof.
And her relationship with Annie Sullivan.
Right.
And, how if you want to think you're doing okay and push yourself to be a little further, read about Helen Keller.
Yeah.
All right. But getting back to the Rotarian, service above self, they actually have two mottos. And the second motto is, he profits most who serves best. So by serving others,
Right.
you profit the most.
Mm-hmm.
And if people can really buy into it and really get it, you can change the world.
Absolutely.
You can change the world. And I get, I know I'm a character, and I know I do, and I have a lot of higher energy and stuff like that. But I wake up going, we can change this, and we can make it better. And I would love everybody else who takes that motto and goes, service above self. And I don't know, do you know the 4-way test of Rotary?
No, I would think there'd be no curves. You would be going in a circle.
No, it's a 4-way test.
Okay.
And what it is it's you ask these 4 questions when you make a big decision in life.
Okay.
All right. And the first one is it the truth? All right. If you're doing this, is it the truth? The second one is it fair to all concerned? Is it hurting someone or intentionally hurting someone? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? All right. So far, you notice nothing has anything to do about dollars.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So it goes back. It's twice going back to what's the trickle effect? Because
Right.
so many business people make so many hard decisions and stuff like that, and they forget to ask these 4 questions.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ask these 4 questions, they would find more success in life. Not necessarily in business,
Right.
but in life.
Look, I like the first one right there. Is it the truth?
That's a great way to start.
Yeah.
All right. So Rotarians, we started in 1905.
Okay.
All right. St. Augustine was one of the very first clubs in 1920. First club began in Chicago in 1905. The second club was in 1908 in San Francisco. All right. Well over 1 million members, because now Rotary is international. All right. The eradication of polio basically came from Rotarians. All right. Salk came up with
Right.
the vaccine. Rotary delivered it to the world. So a lot of people don't understand that that's what this club's about. You'll see sponsorships and stuff like that, even if you walk up to the amphitheater and you look at the box office.
Right.
If you look up, Rotary donated that box office. You go out to the Little League Park,
Right.
Rotary has a baseball field out there. Elks do too, by the way.
Right.
Presidents that have been Rotarians, you have Ford, Carter, Reagan, the 2 Bushes, FDR, Woodrow Wilson. So there's 7 presidents. Oh, sorry. And only one of them was actually a district president. Donald Trump.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
So just see, it's a club that just, to me, gets it.
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering how he handles the first tenant of the four.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think all Rotarians always ask this 4-way test.
Okay.
Because I can tell you right now, is it fair to all concerned?
Hey.
All right.
Okay.
How about you go back and ask those 4-way tests? And we should ask all politicians
Absolutely.
to answer those 4-way tests before they make a decision.
Well, it's funny because I went back this afternoon and watched last night's debate, and I'm going to come back with the first one.
You mean the squabbling?
Well, at some point in time, I really wanted one of those moderators to say, "Children, if you don't stop it, I'm going to turn this car around." Because it was just silly.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the booth. Even if I lose my job, I'm turning off microphones left and right.
Right.
Why did they let them just
Well,
go
that's
with
the
that?
easiest way to handle this. Control the mics, and this is your question. The mic is on.
Yeah.
When the question's over, the mic is off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had no real control over it.
Well, I mean, they just need a little screen in front of them that says "Shut up."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're being an ass.
Probably a lot more expletives like on that screen as well. Besides "shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like shut up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they needed
You know?
it. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's,
All right. Anyway,
Two
threads.
guys lost me last night completely, and I can't. Is the guy Tim Scott
okay.
and Vivek?
The Ramaswamy with the pompadour.
Yeah, his hair was high last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
But they lost me last night because common courtesy.
Right.
Okay, if I want that guy, that's the guy who already didn't show up for the stage.
Right.
All right. Anyway, threads.
Don't try and be that guy.
Right.
So,
Threads.
threads. All right, that helps the algorithms when we talk about how amazing Threads is.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. Do you know
I
what
have
Threads
it.
is?
At this point in time, I'm just so aggravated that they can't say X, formerly Twitter. It's X, and who cares that it used to be Twitter? Just call it X now.
Yeah.
No, X is a terrible name.
I didn't rename it. I didn't rebrand it. All I want to know is why do they keep saying X, formerly Twitter? Either it's X or it's Twitter. Well, Elon's nuts. I mean, the man may be brilliant, but he's nuts.
Yeah, and that's why Zuckerberg would have kicked his ass if they
had to fight. Yeah,
had to
exactly.
follow through with
Yeah.
the fight.
Yeah.
Well, but we'll say though, Elon gives a bad rep to people with Asperger's. I hate him as someone with Asperger's. I hate him.
Okay.
All right, Blake, as someone with Asperger's, what Asperger's person do you feel has Asperger's that you go, he's pretty cool for an Aspie?
Dan Aykroyd probably.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know we called him Aspies?
No, we didn't know that Dan Aykroyd had Asperger's.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Dan Aykroyd's, he's good.
Okay.
Wasn't Thomas Edison?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh, or Einstein. It might have been Einstein who was considered Asperger's.
That would make more sense. Edison, it would probably be, too early to be able to diagnose, I would think.
Yeah. Well, no. A lot of these guys weren't diagnosed. And,
Right.
Oh,
right,
no,
okay,
they
right.
weren't.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't. All right. What else do you
Lions
have over
Club.
there? Lions
The
Club.
Lions Club.
Oh, yeah.
Very important.
And it doesn't look like we're going to get to the Eagles Club. And
Okay.
I apologize for any Eagles fans out there. But
They're still touring, but,
Yeah.
Glenn Fry is dead, so I'm just saying.
And they have a pretty good football team.
Yes, they do. Ooh, yes, they do. Lions Club. It's the largest club in the world. 1.4 million members. 48,000 clubs internationally. Lions Club International. They're great. It started as a social club for business networking. Guy by the name of Melvin Jones in 1917 brought a bunch of business clubs together from across the country to a meeting. And in 1920, they basically went international. He started this in 1917. 1920, they became international, and that's, being generous.
Yeah.
Because it was the Border Cities Club of Windsor, Canada. So international was somebody walked back and forth across the border.
Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that really?
They apologized a lot. They
yeah,
did. They
yeah.
apologized a lot.
Don't you know?
But even in 1920, they had in 1920 they had a mere 6,400 members in 23 states. Today, 48,000 clubs around the world, 1.4 million members, and they have a basic premise of 5 global causes they work for: diabetes, hunger, the environment, childhood cancer, and one that I think is actually one of the more important ones for my affiliation with the Lions Club in Long Beach, the Long Beach Lions Club, and that's vision. Mm-hmm. And The Long Beach Lions Club, to my knowledge, has bought, paid for, and trained upwards of 5 or 6 guide dogs for the blind through their fundraisers, their raffles, and their fundraisers.
And the local Shriners Club actually does some stuff for vision too.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, Blake, your grandmother, they took care of some of her stuff for her eyes.
That's good.
Well, how the Lions Club got into this is in 1925, a woman who we mentioned earlier tonight, Helen Keller, challenged the Lions. She challenged them to become the Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness, and had them take up the mantle of working to help visually impaired people and to work on vision issues. So, I think that was really pretty great. 6 presidents in the Lions Club.
Okay.
Yep. Got Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Harry S. Truman, Jimmy Carter, and George W. Bush.
Okay. George W.
George W., not H.W., George W. Babe Ruth, your buddy,
All right. Hey.
who may not be a
with it.
golfer but looks great in +4s.
Yeah.
Dr. Oz,
Uh,
he's a member.
All right.
He's just a member.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
he should be a senator,
He's
but
not
he's
making,
yeah.
he's not making my foursome.
No. Yeah, no. What about Catfish Hunter? Blake, Catfish Hunter? Had a good mustache.
Yeah. He
Okay.
only,
you might be thinking about Raleigh though.
yeah.
Yeah, well, hey,
Raleigh's
that's a
mustache
mustache.
was better.
All right,
And
hang on.
Catfish only had like half a foot.
There you go. How about Larry Bird?
Larry Bird's all right.
Can I upgrade you with King Juan Carlos of Spain?
Very nice.
Okay.
Met him.
Okay. Admiral Byrd,
He discovered the North Pole, right? Is that what he did?
South Pole?
South Pole.
One of the poles.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And a couple of interesting women. Dominique Dawes, the gymnast.
Okay.
Amelia Earhart,
All right.
who is still living in blissful
South
joy
Pacific?
in the South Pacific. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this is the, I don't know if it's the ironic one, but it's the poignant one. Patty Duke, who played Helen Keller.
Patty Duke.
Played Helen Keller in the movie,
She played Patty Duke
in The Miracle Worker.
on the Patty Duke show.
She did that too, twice.
Yeah.
She played her and her cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had
But I like the fact
she
that-
only got paid once, so
I know. What a racket that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So,
But
so
she-
those are the Lions.
no. And the Lions do, and that's what I love about, and this is why I love doing this.
Yeah.
You got it right. He's older than me. He usually gets it right. This is what I love doing about these clubs, and we're not going to get to some of these other clubs, but it's easy to get out there and find something you fit in with.
Right.
Like both of these, I've been a Rotarian for over 20 years. I've been an Elk since 2007, the year we opened the amphitheater. I know
Okay.
exactly when that one was.
Right, because you needed parking. Right.
And whenever I hear something that's attached to it, it gives me a level of comfort. Okay, this group's got this. And now I
Right.
become attached to it. Hopefully, some of the other foundations that I'm involved in, people look at it like home again, and go, "All right, he's attached to it. Something must be right." And I'm hoping when people do that, when I did Project Autism, I'm hoping that I can bring that to the organization, or I'm not doing it any justice if I'm not.
Right.
And, the reason I wanted to do this show is I wanted to challenge people to, you can start, the Bunny Rabbits Club
Right.
and do great things. Mm-hmm. There's nothing stops you from being great.
Yeah.
The only thing that stops you from being great is you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these organizations, when Charles Vivian went to start the Elks, he had no idea what he was doing. When Paul Harris went to start the Rotary Club, he had no idea what he was doing. The Kiwanis started in 1915. They didn't realize how big it was going to get.
Right.
And you talked about the Lions Club being the biggest club.
Right.
The Elks Club was once the largest club. They peaked in 1976 with 1.7 million people. They went down to less than 700,000, and now they're crawling back up. They're back over 1 million.
Well, I
So-
really like the fact that these service organizations do so much good for the communities. They're selfless. There's time involved in it, but people give the time, and the reward is you're doing something for somebody else, which is I think maybe the third tenet of the Rotarians.
Yes.
Are you helping somebody else?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships.
But what's interesting is
your wealth comes from your family and your friendships.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you wrap it up because we got to go. We're over on
Yeah,
time.
all I was going to say is a lot of these clubs started out as business and networking organizations that morphed into social service organizations that then provided so much for so many people between the Shriners Hospitals, the Lions and their blind, everything the Elks, the Shriners, all these people have done. And it's just wonderful. You know, when you come right down to it, as a rule, most people are really inherently good. Mm-hmm. And want to do good.
Yes,
and that's the important. That's the important takeaway.
And one of the things that frustrates me the most, and I work with kids all my life, especially the early part of my career, is when they go, "Kids today." That has not changed throughout history. Right. Human nature is human nature. Right. People want to do right. People want to be good. Right. People want to be loved. People want to be hugged.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry I got sappy, but you know what? We got to end the show.
Well, that's a good note to go out on.
Let's go. Cheers.
Chin down, my brother. Chin down.
Appreciate you. Hey, this is Bollox Talks and Tangents. Please share the show. If you didn't like the show, share it anyway. Maybe they won't like it either. But we love you guys, and we're so happy you keep us out here. Goodbye.